my dear Sagittarius. This is a love reading, a prediction for Virgo season, August 22nd to September 22nd, 2020, with me, Queen of Cups Tarot. This reading is supported by Lian, and if you also want to support a reading from me, you can follow the donation link in the description box. And this will be a love reading for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising Sign, and Venus, Vedic or Tropical. The reading can go both ways. The drama is the same, but it can be different castings to the different roles by the universe. So when I tell you that this is you, it might as well be the person or the situation you are dealing with. So use your own intuition and recognition to determine who is who in this reading for you. And if you need more information or help after you have listened to this reading, you can turn to the love readings for Leo season that is already up. We are on our way into the first part of Leo season right now, and it can be a good idea to rewatch your reading. You can also check out the pick a card and near personal readings on the first page of my channel. Click the headline of each playlist to see all the videos that the playlist contains. And I will start shuffling your cards, and I use the Golden Universal Tarot with Roberto De Angelis. So, okay, when I open your deck here, I see the Fool in reversed and the Ace of Cups in reversed. So it seems like someone is foolishly giving up on love. Maybe someone is foolishly giving up on your love and thinking that it's nothing, okay? So might be making one's bed for regretting it later. So I call the Divine with Love and Light, and here we have the Empress together with the Ace of Cups. So it's showing, so far this reading has shown me that you have a connection with someone that probably takes you for granted, and that you are really maybe the love of this person's life, but they don't know, and they might make stupid mistakes, and this with regret will happen. So I call the four archangels in the four corners of the world. And here we have the Hierophant with the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So it might be that they are loyal towards other people than what they are loyal towards you. They might be loyal to their original family, or to friends, or an ex-girlfriend, or an ex-boyfriend, or husband, or whatever. So and I'm also feeling like a fear of commitment to you, because they already have responsibilities to other people. They might come off as they are this freedom-loving person, but really they are shackled and chained already by other people that they might have a difficult time growing out of. Sometimes when we are stuck, for example, with the obligations towards our original family, we have problems to create a family of our own. So I call the 6 elements, and here we see the 2 of coins with the Ace of Cups. So it's like this person is trying to juggle 2 different situations and make everyone happy in every different direction, because they want to love like the next person. So 6 elements: earth, wind, fire, water, spirit, and ether, to join us here today and to give us a clear view reading for my dear Sagittarius viewers. So I want my dear Sagittarius to have love in their life and to find themselves in loving relationships. I also want you to have creative success and to be able to walk on your highest path towards your highest destiny. Okay. So I'll just tune in here for a few seconds to you and your situation in Virgo season, Sagittarius. Okay. So this is the new bottom of the deck, and we have the Emperor here. We saw the Empress before and the High Priest. So it's something going on with the dynamic between the Divine Feminine and the Divine Masculine here. And here we have the Hierophant in the reversed. So I'm thinking there's a spiritual growth thing going on with the Divine Masculine in both you and maybe also in your partner or the person that this reading might be about. for you, it's about growing into more self-respect and maybe nurturing your more the male sides to you, to trust yourself more and become more in your own authority. Okay, so this is what's on your mind about the person most on your mind. This is the situation with said person or said people, because it might be more than one person, might be the people at your work or your family, things like this. So this is on your emotional level. This is the bond between you, and this is on their emotional level. This is your behaviors and attitudes, the outcome for Virgo season, and their behaviors and attitudes. So we'll start with the situation here. And we have the sun. This was what I felt with also the Hierophant and the Emperor here, that there's something going on with the male aspect really growing here and really coming into its own like more light side of the divine masculine, the part that can take responsibility, that can be a problem solver, that can be a savior. So I'm thinking when you are giving this more and more to yourself, being your own savior kind of, you're also helping the whole humanity and the masculine side to us to really grow and become splendid. Okay. So this is about truth. It's about spiritual growth. It's about acknowledging who you are and loving yourself, loving being in connection with your soul. Is also the highest card for love. It's when two healed people, holy people, is joining in holy matrimony. And we can see the little child and the white horse. So someone being very pure and honest, and also very open with their feelings. And what you see is what you get, kind of. And this is what's on your mind about the person most on your mind. So it seems like you're thinking that they are a little bit shady. I want to see from their perspective as well. We have the High Priestess here. Both are ruled. This is the moon, and the High Priestess is ruled by the moon. This is Pisces energy. This is Cancer energy, and we have Leo energy there. Only major arcana cards. So it's something going on. I think you have lost hope in your significant other or in this person here. But they are really growing, okay? They are really growing, and you might not be able to see it right now because you have so many memories of things that have gone bad, and you're just trying to make it on your own, kind of being your own hero here, your own emperor, being the hero that's going through this dark landscape and finding your way through. While this person seems to kind of admire you and see that you hold a lot of wisdom, and that a lot of the things that you said was actually accurate. So it seems like they are respecting you, they are looking up to you, might be realizing that you were right, and this is in the same time when you are thinking everything is hopeless. But it's the divine masculine, so this is the divine masculine side, this is the divine feminine side. I think 85% of my viewers are females. So, and even if you aren't a female, you can still be finding yourself on this side. It depends on what kind of attributes in one's own person we are showing to the world. So a female person can be a very stubborn, in being much in authority, refuse to change, be very sure of their own ideas and so on. So very masculine attributes. And a male person can be very empathic and warm and generous, and maybe having a little bit of a victim mentality. So you can be on either of this side. You need to use your own intuition and recognition to determine who you are in this reading. But what I'm seeing here is that the divine masculine seems to go through some kind of epiphany here, and kind of putting down the protection that they might have had over their mind to take in new ideas. Okay, with the sun over their head there. And this is the bond between you, and we have the Five of Wands in reversed. So I talked about laying down your arms or ending the conflict. So this person doesn't want to argue with you anymore. They might, this is like the time after the argument where the person is seeing, or both people might be seeing that, I could have agreed to this, or I shouldn't have been like this, and now I understand what they mean. So it's this time after when we are starting to heal and digest, and we are not so agitated anymore, not so dramatic anymore. So it's almost like not a like I'm sorry, but it's leaning towards a person wants peace. Okay, and this is on your emotional level, and we have an Eight of Wands, so it's communication, clear communication, taking away misunderstandings and really clearing the air. And here we have the Fool. So it seems like even though you have lost a little hope, you still have a lot of passion for this relationship, I would say. So even if you feel you kind of expect to have the same old again and again, but you still doesn't seem to have given up on this person, even though you fear the worst. So that's very heroic of you. And this person is very heroic too, because they are walking kind of to the edge here and considering taking a leap of faith. So that means maybe sacrificing their ego, or admitting that you were right, or telling you the things that you always wanted to hear. And we can see both of these images with the sun here present, the white animal, horse, a dog, and the Fool is a child, and this is obviously a child. So it's very much the same energy, like a person that doesn't have to protect their ego anymore, but can actually, they love themselves enough to be able to reveal themselves for who they are. They don't feel like they need to hide away and protect themselves against the world's judgmental eyes, because why we are so scared about other people's opinion is because we kind of agree with them. And when we stop agreeing with different nasty voices, or even stopping giving these nasty voices or these nasty judgments towards ourselves, when you stop saying, oh, I'm so stupid, and or I always destroy things, or I'm unlovable, no one can love me. When we stop saying these things, we stop being scared of having it thrown in our face, because if someone says it, but you are healed, you don't have this issue anymore, you don't agree with their words, so their words will just bounce off of you, and you will not be dramatic because some words were said or people did certain things. Because when you're healed, no one can touch a person that's healed. There's nothing to touch, there's no wound. And this seems to be what have happened a little bit with this person. I'm not saying that they have totally been enlightened, but it seems like they have lost a lot of their ego. They have started to love themselves, so they are not as touchy-feely anymore. And with the Eight of Wands, you could meet them halfway, because you also see solutions to the problems, and you also understand things from like an above perspective, being able to see how this could have been solved in a better way. And you have, it seems like you have lost hope, but in the same time you have hope. So I'm thinking maybe the logic side to you have lost hope, but your heart still has hope. It's usually that way. And this is on your behavior, like the behavioral level, what you're doing as a behavior towards the other person. And we have Four of Swords in the reverse. So I'm thinking you have tried to kind of ignore them and push them away and not talk to them, and you don't want them to come close and make you hurt again. With the Moon, it's like a person is poking our old traumas, karmas, memories, and they're bringing it up to the surface again and again. But it's done like that so it can be healed. So let's say that you were abandoned by one of your parents. They might have moved out for a while when you were just a little baby. And then you have abandonment issues due to this, because children are very they're very sensitive to these kind of things. So it's almost impossible to not traumatize a child in one way or the other. So this happened, and then you have a pattern. So it means that this person probably abandoned you again and again and again, so that the wound could come to surface and be healed. And right now you're trying to maybe not let that person hurt you again and again, and reopening the wound. So you have kept them a little bit on arm's length distance, maybe ignoring them. But with the Four of Swords in reversed together also here with Eight of Wands, it's very probable that you will start to feel anxious for not speaking with this person, for not having connection, for not being with them. So you're starting to feel like enough is enough, like enough time has been wasted, so now it's time to rekindle. And you might not agree with that, but this anxiety comes from the High Priestess. Your intuition is telling you that it's time to reconcile in one way or the other, at least have some kind of closure or forgive the person, to have the healing happening. So this is the behaviors and attitudes, and it's the Tower in the reversed. So I'm thinking again, we are talking about this person's ego, that they are ready to lose their mask and lose their ego. They don't have to protect their ego anymore, because they have kind of found their soul, the sun here in the picture. We all have a little sun above our head, and it has been like shocked, waved into existence with this person. So they realize that the ego is not who they are. And the ego dies, and you still realize that you are alive, and you are even better off than what you were before, when you identify with the ego, with your titles, what other people thought about you, the things you owned, your car, your the grass outside your house, or the kids, or their achievements and things like this. That's when you are in the ego. When you are still you, even if you lose your job, you still love yourself, then you are in your soul. So it seems like this person is ready to really take the leap of faith and forgo the ego and be in their soul. Okay. And this is the outcome for Virgo season. And here we have the Devil. So it kind of shows that both parties here are ready for another go, but there's still all these issues is left to solve. You will trigger each other in the exact same way, but maybe now you have the ability to be aware when it happens. Maybe both people can be aware and see, okay, so now we are here again, chained to this old problem, our old memories of things, how people have done us wrong, or how life did us wrong, or how we got hurt or wounded or traumatized. And so if we can be aware in these situations, we can say, hey, I'm feeling I'm having a bad day. I'm being really irritated with you right now, and I don't really have a reason, but I just don't want you to know that if I blow up in your face, it's probably not because of you. It's something that I'm dealing with today. So sometimes it can just be like the moon being in a certain position and affecting you, and we can be cranky, or it can be that the situation we are in is reminding us about the situation that we were in at a earlier occasion. So we might get dramatic or feeling a lot of peculiar pain in different places. But if we can be aware of it, and the other person can kind of be there and being aware together with you, you can sort this out instead of acting upon it and acting out the old projections, like the same old. For example, let's say that you're both going and grocery shopping, and one person gets very agitated during this and feeling like, oh, I'm going to walk home. And instead of letting this go on, we might look into that person's eye, put our hands on their shoulders if they allow us, and we can say, okay, so what's going on? How can I help you? What is fueling all these feelings inside of you, and how can I help you with this? And they might say, well, it's so difficult when you are always deciding what apples we should choose. And you say, okay, so if it's very important for you to choose apples today, you can choose them. And not making fun of the other person while this is happening, because they might have been bestolen of their right to know what kind of fruit or candy or food they liked when they were a child, for example. So someone else told them that this was what they were supposed to eat. And when you do the same, you're triggering the rebellion with this child inside of them that doesn't want to be treated in that way anymore. And it has nothing to do with you. And they would have been totally all right with dealing with the apple situation if they wouldn't have had this old little bit of trauma. So we can be very understanding, and we can use a lot of humor, but not making fun of other people or the other person here in this equation. But you still have all the problems left, but it seems like you are more aware, so you can more easily, at least this person, I'm thinking you too, but you're still kind of having bad expectations, but it's fine. Sometimes we don't want to build up high expectations if we feel like it will go to hell anyway. So maybe you can be more prepared for the hell if if you are like this, but it's also kind of, we are creating hell if that is what we assume will happen. So this is their feelings towards you, and we have keep an open mind. Your soulmate may differ from your usual type and expectations. So it feels like maybe they have reserved themselves from the relationship before because there was something with you that was odd or peculiar. Maybe that you were into spiritual things, for example. But now they are seeing the perks with this, and that maybe you aren't as the ideal person that they thought they would be with. Maybe you had more of a like a vivid mind or ideas of your own, like being like a real person instead of a illusion or a dream. And I'm thinking this person have had problems with that, but now they are kind of accepting that you are a real person. So that's great. I'm being a little bit ironic. And this is your feelings towards them, and it's stay optimistic about your love life. We have seen that you aren't you might be logically not being particularly optimistic, but I'm thinking your soul and your heart is optimistic. Positive thinking and fate will bring you romance. I don't want you to fake anything, but you know, keep yourself open for other interpretations than the worst one possible. So I'm taking another for them. Trust. The situation is calling for you to have faith, and the Fool card, it's a lot about trust, to make that leap of faith. So I'm thinking they are trying to trust this. They are trying to trust this connection. They are trying to trust you. They are trying to trust to sacrifice their ego, because the ego is probably what made them felt safe before, having control and, you know, having a certain reputation or being seen or perceived in a certain kind of way that made them feel in control. But if they are going to forego that, they need to have trust. And here's you, and we have romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So you might feel like you have these emotions, and that they might be like you are codependent or addictive to, why can't I fall in love with someone that's, you know, already don't have an ego, but already have worked through all this. But I'm thinking you are exactly the way you're supposed to be. So you don't have to hit yourself because you are not falling in love with not a devil. Okay, maybe you want to fall in love with someone that's already healed, but you are where you're supposed to be, and follow this a little bit, see where it's leading. Okay, so this is advice cards for you, and it's from the Guardian Angel cards, and we have inspiration. A wave of inspiration and a stream of beautiful ideas are about to enter your aura. We have the 8 of Wands here, some kind of inspiration. It is important that you trust your intuition. There we have your intuition, the High Priestess, at this time. Pay attention to unusual thoughts that come to your mind, and do not discount your imagination. Many wonderful ideas which have served humanity were initially scoffed at or ridiculed. I think this person has ridiculed your way of looking at the relationship from the beginning, but now they're starting to see things your way. We, your guardian angels, will help you discover ways to apply your ideas and manifest new realities for your life. and it came 2. Usually I just want to take 1, but it came 2. We have the Four of Swords, that kind of the peace card. It's not really peace, because it's we are ignoring each other, so we don't have quarrels, but that is giving room for peace to grow when we are not at each other's throats. So peace, calm your thoughts and move your awareness to a peaceful space inside your heart. Feel the ebb and the flow of love, the eternal movement of the stars. Your life is forever unfolding to greater spheres of love. Relax and do not worry about anything, for all is well. You will soon enter a time of well-earned peace and tranquility. I'm thinking this means that don't question so much your love. It's what it is. And of course, pay attention to red flags. You don't want to be used and abused. And you don't want to put yourself in the same stupid situation over and over again, of course. But you can still love a person even if you don't give yourself fully to that person. It's different thing of having this kind of soul love for a person, to love and feel compassion and unconditional love, and one other to have a lot of expectations, like we need to commit, we need to engage, we need to have babies, we need to move in together, you need to be able to apologize, you need to be less abusive with your words. This is not really love. It's kind of more talking about your self-respect and what you are expecting from the other person. But sometimes your expectation can be maybe a little bit too high, and not it's an illusion, because the other person don't have the tools or the equipment to live up to these expectations. And then we can retreat to peace, where we can love them but kind of lower our expectations, and also use this with how much we engage ourselves in the relationship as a protection. So we can love them from a distance sometimes, okay? But apart from that, that's just an advice for how to deal with maybe when it becomes difficult. You can either communicate about it or let the person deal with it themselves if they are too much in your face with and kind of blaming you for their own ghosts in their own mind. So we can use this higher form of love. We don't have to hate them or be angry with them. We can just love them from a little bit of a distance at those times when the problems aren't, you can't solve it because the other person isn't cooperating. They want to cooperate, but our projections, our patterns, our traumas can be very powerful, and we can believe that what we feel is true even though it isn't. And with the moon being here affecting you, I'm thinking also you have this problem. We have moon and the devil here, and you're trying to be very logic and soul filled with this, kind of walking your talk and everything, but you still have the same addiction. It might be that you're a little bit more aware, but I'm feeling this person has become very aware too. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, and I hope this was helpful. If you like my content and want to see more videos like this on how to heal yourself and make yourself ready for that true romantic partner of yours, or if you just want to work on your spiritual growth, remember to subscribe and hit that bell notification to get heads up when a new video is ready and waiting for you. And thank you so much for being on this journey with me. I'm truly grateful for my wonderful, loving and supporting viewers. So until next time, take really good care and stay blessed. Okay, bye-bye.